Hello there, guys. Welcome back. This is week 4 now. This week we're gonna be you're gonna be introduced to the basic theory behind projection and how camera works inside Maya, and obviously all this knowledge you're gonna get there and understanding it will be easily translated into Nuke. But for now, what I'm gonna do this week is, apart from the theory, we're gonna do this quick exercise. I'm gonna do it in class, but then I'm gonna do the execution here, so you have it for yourself, so you can have a look later on and reinforce what we do in class. But basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a quick setup on how projections work. By now, I should have told you that projections or projection cameras or a projector is pretty much the same thing as a camera, but backwards. When you use a camera, capture light. When you use a projector in this case, a camera projector, it pretty much print or color everything with light. And I will show you some examples in class. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this how they work, the setup. Because if you understand this clearly, which is very easy here in Maya, that's what I'm choosing Maya to do it. You will definitely very easily understand it when we go into Nuke, and you will pretty much understand what needs to be done. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to I took an image of the open access area that we have here, and then we're going to turn that single image into a 3D moving image, or sort of like a little mini shot. So it's pretty much essentially that's what you're going to do in your final for this or the brief for this module. But we're just going to do a quick exercise here so you understand what's going on, what's happening. So if you understand, like I say, if you understand this here, you easily will understand in Nuke, because the whole idea here is just to create a quick exercise with a single image, and then talk about sensor size, format, and things like that, and the camera and focal length, and how to set all that up. Now, I'm gonna stand now, and then I will show you a little bit how it works, the starting point, and then I will then show you the model that I done. You will have those files with you, and then I will set up the projections, and then at some point Ration is gonna create probably another couple of tutorials how to do the stuff in Photoshop. And then once he had those files with me, and then he did the tutorial with you, and then when I get those files, and then I will put it all together at the end with this series. So it very much will be a few videos with me, and then probably Ration with 1 or 2 videos, and then me at the end putting it all together. Okay, all right. Let's start with this then. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you the images that I took, and then I'm just gonna go here. I'm just gonna go here. I'm gonna go here somewhere. Then here you're gonna get this projection test sort of project file, and then here in storage images I go 4 images. So I'm gonna double click here, and then pretty much they're all the same. So that you know that one that you saw there. So I'm pretty much you go 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I picked this one to do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to show you that we're gonna take this image. Okay, and then we're gonna use it as a projection to model stuff around, and then we're gonna do a projection setup with this. And pretty much we're gonna create 2 cameras. One camera that's gonna be the projector, and one camera that's gonna be the actual camera that records the projector. Okay. So I think I chose this one, but I'm gonna do is how to set it up in Maya, and then I'll show you the modeling. I'm not gonna go through modeling, but you will have the actual model, basic model. Now, ideally, if I were working on a production, I will take the measurements of all this stuff, and then the measurement, for example, from this distance from here to the camera, I will put the stuff in a tripod, and I will get it higher the tripod, the inclination of the tripod, the camera, and that when I put that stuff inside Maya, then it will be so easy just to fit it in. So because I will have that information, that metrics, that data, and then I will be easy to input those numbers inside Maya, and then everything should work like a trick. But obviously here I didn't do it, I just put a quick image, so you can show you can actually get an image from the internet and then trying to do the same. And now I think I'm gonna choose this. I think pretty sure it's this one. Is it 8308? So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna close this, and I think it's this one. But then if you right click on the image and you say properties, because it was a JPEG taken with a Canon here. If you go into the detail here, it will show you these numbers here, which are the resolution. This is the resolution 5616 by 3744, and it will show you as well the camera was taken with, the f-stop, the exposure, the ISO. We don't need either of this, but we need this, the focal length, and the focal length is 32 mm here. Okay. So we're gonna input that stuff inside the information inside Maya, and then we should be able to get all this stuff running. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do this. So I'm gonna put this guy on the side here. Okay, and then I'm gonna start working in Maya. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a camera. Just gonna here create camera. Just gonna call this camera here. Just gonna call it projection camera. Okay. Now I'm gonna here in the shape, and I will have the information here that I need. So I need the first thing I need to do with this to make it. Just gonna go here. I'm gonna go here into the actual settings. You go here into render settings, and then I'm gonna change the size of the file. And by the way, we're not gonna use render, we're gonna use just Maya software. It's just we're not even rendering now. I'm just gonna show you how it works, and then you can actually render from Maya software, but it should be fine. So I'm gonna do is here put the resolution. So I'm gonna put custom, so I can create my own, and I will put these numbers, which is the resolution of the image. Okay, that will be 5616:3744. That's a huge image. So I'm just gonna move this away here. Just gonna put it on this side so I can see it, and then I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna put that number. So it will be 5616 and 3744. Okay. So that will be it. Okay, so we got 5616:3744. That will give me an aspect ratio of 1.5. This is the aspect ratio of the sensor. So if you divide this by this, it will give you 1.5. Okay, so if you want to see the resolution here, you could click here, perspective, and then projection camera, and then you're looking through that projection camera. And then if you go here into camera setting and you put resolution gate, then you can see the resolution gate. All this stuff here is the stuff that's going to be rendered. Whatever is grayed out is not going to be rendered. And you have here the resolution, the one we input. So this is the one we're going to be using. Okay. So the next thing I need to do as well is the set up the camera sensor size, the film back. The film back is the sensor size, okay, and the sensor size of the camera. This picture was taken with a Canon EOS 5D Mark II, and according to the manufacturer specs, this camera is what is considered to be a full frame camera. So what is a full frame camera? So if you go here onto Wikipedia and you click here, if you type image sensor format here, then if you click on this here, they will say this is supposed to be a full format camera. Okay, the other Canons or the other cameras, they are like consumer camera. They have smaller sensor size. Okay, and because they got a smaller sensor size, they have something called a cropping factor. Okay, so for example, if you shoot something in a full frame camera that is 25mm, okay, and if you shoot it with this camera, it will, because the sensor size is smaller, then will be the equivalent of a higher number. Okay, or a lower number, because you're shooting with a lower number, then you have a multiplier, and then you will get what is supposed to be the equivalent in a full frame. So this is pretty much the standard with the industry is. This is what we're looking for, a 35mm full frame. So the 35mm full frame, this camera is the Canon Mark II. That's why it's quite popular. So if you click here at the bottom here, this is the size, the 35mm full frame, and this is the size in the sensor side. The sensor inside the camera, this is the size in millimeters, 36mm by 24mm width and height. Okay, so this is the area. And then the other Canon, you see the other cameras are smaller. You see this camera, for example, is a 2/3. This camera here will have a smaller sensor size. So we want to get something like this, then the focal length will be smaller. Okay, so full frame, 36 by 24. If you go back to Maya here, you got these numbers already here, because the standard of the camera of the industry is a full frame 35mm camera. Okay, so we got 36 by 24, so it's already there. So if we have shot with a different camera, then we have to put a sensor size here, okay, in millimeter. You can put it in millimeter or you can put it in inches. This is the same number by in inches. Okay, so if you put this in millimeters here, 36 by 24, then you're done. You don't have nothing to do, and automatically here you get the aspect ratio. So if you divided this by this, it will give you 1.5, the film aspect ratio. If you divide this by this, it will give you 1.5. I think if you go here to the calculator, you can see you can put I think you put what's it called, 36 divided by 24. That will give you 1.5. Again, if you divide 5616 divided by 3744, that will give you 1.5. So that's right. So if we don't get this right, then you will be, the image will look squished or stretch or something. So the first thing we need to do is now I need to add a an image plane to this. Image plane normally I use for modeling. So you can put a camera, set it up in one angle, and put an image plane, and then you use that as a reference for modeling your character from the side, from the front, blah blah blah, from the top if you want. But we're gonna use it here for actually modeling, but the modeling the environment. So if I click this button here, I select the camera. This is the camera that got selected, which is camera projection camera. This is the shape now. This is the transform now. So if I go here and semicolon environment, I think it is, yeah, image plane. You see, hit this button, create, and it creates an image plane. Now if I click here and then look for an image that I'm going to use, which is this one, A3. I think that's the one that I've been using. I just want to double check. Yes, A308, A308. That's the one. So I click there and I open that, and it appears here. So you see, whenever I move the camera, that stuff will be there. If I go into the perspective, you see we got the camera with this stuff, and this is the grid here. So I'm gonna look through that camera again. Now the first thing we need to do as well is to take. I'm gonna select the camera and just remember the settings of that image properties. It says in the details that it was shot with, what is it? Somewhere here. 32 millimeters, the focal length. Okay, the focal length is here. You see it zooming in, zooming out. You know all that. So I go here, select the camera, and then here somewhere should be the focal length, and that's here, 32. So I type that there. Now I'm ready to go. Okay. So now it will be a matter of you guys just trying to align this stuff here with, for example, if I take this grid here and I'm trying to align it with the lines here in the stuff right there, then. So I can just probably try to align it with the floor. I want to. It doesn't have to be accurate, 100% accurate, guys. So what I did was, I think in the other one I demoed, I put this guy here and I put a thing right there, and I'm trying to match. So if I match this guy here with this line, it's not necessarily gonna match with the floor, because the floor goes in a direction. Not necessarily these guys are exactly aligned with this line that goes here. So I'm gonna try to align this with the floor, which is sort of like a general thing. So I'm just gonna go here, there, okay, somewhere there, okay. Okay, it's a bit tricky. It takes a bit of time. Okay, but you can see that this line doesn't align. That's because it needs to rotate the camera there. So I think if I rotate the camera, probably is in Z. No. So here, man. Maybe let's see if this one works. See here. No, that's not the one. See here, -10. No, too much. -20. -18. Probably we got, yeah, that aligns there, but now it doesn't align here necessarily. You can see the lines here, how they go, so you have to go probably 80. No, that's the one. Put here 10. Too much. 5. Put here 4. See how this line, I think this line aligns very well there. There are much better tools in another software for this. I don't know why Maya doesn't have something like this. Alright, this seems to be aligned. Yeah, okay, she's gonna keep it like that for now. Okay, and I'm just gonna select the camera, and so if I don't mess up with the camera anymore, I'm just gonna go click, select, right click here, and then say lock selected. So it's locked. So now the camera, I cannot move it because it's locked. Okay, so just for you, so you don't mess up. If you want to move it again, then you can just go and lock one by one and try to move it. Okay, so that's that for now. This seems to be okay here. Okay, now I'm gonna go here in polygons. I'm gonna create a box. Okay, it's gonna go number 4, so it goes transparent. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to assume that the floor here, the grid, is the floor. So when I put something, I'm gonna put it just on top of the grid like this. Okay, just like that. Now again, I'm gonna go into projection. Okay, so that's supposed to be there. The moment we can see that it's too big, so probably, or it's too far, so we can just probably move it there, move it there. Okay, seems to be okay. Now I'm gonna rotate it a little bit so it matches there a little bit. That seems to be cool. Okay, I'm gonna go here, face. I'm gonna move this down. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, guys. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, you should overlap it a little bit, so it's just and I'll show you later on why. I think this, you're gonna put it like that. This take a little bit of time, so I'm gonna do a few of them, and then I'm gonna stop, and then I will open it again when it's done. So I'm just gonna go that. I think this one seems to be okay. Not necessarily this stuff is perfectly aligned, so just bear in mind that you can, let's see, let's put this a bit back like that. Yeah, so you can, for example, take, I think that should be fine. It's fine like that, I think. Probably a little bit the bottom here, probably. Yeah. And then I copy this, Control D, and then I just move it next to it. And it should match the other one perfectly. Rough off. So because we put that information, you know, and I managed to get the grid aligned with the floor, then this should be pretty straightforward. I think this a little bit lower like that. That's fine. Then we can probably take this guy here, Control D, and then trying to find if we can find it somewhere here. So this I'm trying to get this dot there. Again, this guy not necessarily is 100%. So you should probably don't. Again, like I said, you don't have to match them exactly, guys. You don't have to match it exactly. I'm gonna do that, and then probably get this guy out here. That should do it. Okay. So that's those two. Then I'm gonna probably create another box. I'm gonna create this guy here. I'm just gonna knock it down like that, and then move it around. I'm gonna make sure that it's between these two chairs, these two cushions thingies, and I'm just gonna go here into there, and then just probably around there somewhere. So I can probably go here, get this over here, and then here I'm gonna get a perspective, and here I'm gonna get the actual projection camera, so I can get this up and running there. So I just put this guy is around there, and I'm just gonna move it there. See, this is the camera at the front, so this guy should be a little bit to this side. So I think it's around this area there. This guy essentially is the same height as this, so it should be going down like this. Probably when it sort of matches right in the middle, then we're just gonna go and increase the, I think this probably will do. And then I'm gonna go into the cylinder here, and I just gotta increase the radius. There you go. Okay, so I'm just gonna knock it down a little bit. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. This seems to be okay there. Okay, so I'm gonna make a copy of this. I'm gonna scale it down and press 4 so I can see inside like that. And then I'm just gonna scale it up like this. And then I'm just gonna bring it down here. And then I'm gonna scale it down again. So you again, like I said, it doesn't have to match perfectly. You just have to do it a little bit so it works there. So I got a bit there, and then probably knock it down all the way down there. Okay, so we got that. Okay, that's fine. Then I'm gonna go and probably take a box. I'm gonna snap it right there. Press V, middle click and drag in the middle, and then frame that, and I'm just gonna snap it right in the middle there. Okay, right there. And then I'm just gonna scale it up like this, scale it like that, move it there. Actually, I'm just gonna knock it down like this. I'm just gonna try to do this bit here, and then I'm just gonna move it in like that. That should do it. You don't have to, again, like I said, you don't have to do it perfectly. And then I'm just gonna, assuming that this is the floor, then I'm just gonna probably I think the floor is even higher here, so I think I might have to, let's create the floor just to get stuff so we don't get confused. So I'm just gonna get this guy here. That's probably the floor. Let's say that's the floor. Okay, let's match it at the back here so it matches. And you can see the line that goes there. That's fine. and we scale this guy up like that. That's fine. And I think this guy obviously is way too high, way too. I'm just gonna select those points and then bring him up. So when that doesn't match like this, it means that this guy needs to be moved. So if this guy is there, and it's roughly the same size, so you need to probably move this guy like this probably. So this one fits. I think this is too close to this probably. We can just move it there. And then probably pump it up a little bit like that. Maybe it needs to be a bit smaller. So I'm just gonna finish this quickly, and then I'm gonna stop it, and then I'm going to come back when this is all done. You can actually make it a little bit bigger like that. It's fine. And then take this guy here, and then bring it all the way down. So that, see, that makes a bit more sense to the, yeah. Let me put it right here in the middle. Yeah, so I can bring it down. 4. No, this guy doesn't align very well, but doesn't matter. Like I say, it doesn't have to be perfect. So let's see, what's the issue here? This guy should be in theory then somewhere around here to cover all that stuff. Should be around there. Yeah. Now I'm gonna number 4, and I'm just gonna take this guy and snap it here so he's right in the middle. And then I think this is the way to go. I think this guy should be smaller. Yeah. I think everything should be slightly designed like this. Yeah, that's the one there. That sort of fits in the place here with the floor. So yeah, that's fine. So we take this now. We put it right there. There's still an issue there. It should be fitting there, but it's okay. It's just only to just create the illusion that there is depth, but it should be fine. If I put this and bring this floor down, maybe the floor is too high. There's a little bit of a gap anyway behind them, so let me see if you can just knock this guy down. A little bit more down. Then back. And then to this side as well. Maybe they need to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, these guys need to be a little bit bigger. I'm just gonna do these cushions quick. So I'm just gonna go here, select this face, bigger, okay, slightly bigger so it overlaps. Okay, maybe this guy needs a little bit more rotation. Like that. Yeah, just like that. Just gonna delete this. Gonna duplicate this again. Should fit there. That's fine. If there's an overlap here, that's fine. Remember, this is coming quickly just to understand what projections are, so don't worry about this. So okay, that's fine. We got that. How is it the back? I think this guy needs to go a little bit. It's supposed to be all the way to the wall there, so I think this, if we knock these guys down gonna go one and then just do the other one. Let's copy. Open this. Got that. Yes, okay, so I'm just gonna duplicate this and then I'm gonna stop this right after this, and then I'm gonna show you the end result after this. I think that should be fine. Get this face there. Right, okay, so I'm gonna stop this now. I'm gonna finish it and then I'll come back when it's all done and then we're gonna continue. Alright guys, thank you very much. Bye bye.